Hi everyone, welcome back to Pop Off the Clock. I'm Yoseline.
And I'm Brenda. We are back to you guys with some more pop culture. Music has happened, movies have come out.
Breakups are confirmed. New lovebird rumors are
It's just like a wide landscape of pop culture this past week. We had a pop girl who has been making her little Wicked roundabouts, is now focusing more on her music again, and we're hearing some of her additional tracks on this recent album of hers, so we're going to give you our opinions of those.
And there's a lot of the Biebers. They're back on the ad lines. Did they not unfollow each other? Is Justin okay? The big question of the week is
the crash out.
The crash out. Is he sending cryptic messages about his ex, Selena Gomez?
And then speaking of couples, I mean, we were talking about this last season. There was just this big question mark around these two stars, Glen Powell and Sweeney, and whether they were together or not. But timing is everything, as one Glen Powell said.
It's funny how timing works, isn't it? Yeah, it is. But we're excited to get through that. Again, we have actually, I wouldn't even say great stories today. Not a lot, but I think like A-list.
Oh no, you all are going to really enjoy these because I've enjoyed literally just watching TikToks and like just deep diving into all of these things. So it's going to be a fun one today. But before we get into the headlines and the topics, let's see how Yos's week has been.
Thanks for asking, Brenda. Well, as you can see, I'm wearing a blazer. I do not wear blazers, but a lipstick exploded on my shirt 5 minutes before going on air. So I had to put this on there, and then I safety pinned it right where the stain is, so they would just not open up and be like, and to make it worse, it was a red lipstick, so it's a little
and the fabric is like, I'm so sorry, it's a beautiful dress.
It's a beautiful dress. It was a beautiful dress.
A beautiful dress.
Put that in past tense. But aside from that, my work week has it's been a long week, and my girl bosses will know I hate using that term, but it's just been a long week with, work, and it's not really the work. It's the other part of the work, what I'm not going to say.
We're not going to share that.
We're not going to share that part, but it is what it is. But of course, I enjoy my job most of the time. It was just this week. You know, I have days off coming up, or planning to for my birthday, for my birthday, and this week has been like, I cannot wait till my vacation. And I couldn't tell you the last time that like I
had a vacation.
I've said that where I'm just like,
I can't wait to like leave.
I need separation. But I think it's good to have goals, and my goal is to get to my birthday celebration. But on the weekend, a month away. The weekend, what did I do this weekend? I do not know. I do not remember. I probably catched up on shows. I hung out with Chloe.
You watched Adolescence.
I watched Adolescence, and you hyped it up to Chloe and I, and we fell for their trap. I thought it was so intense. So intense. And it's not like, ooh, lewd, inappropriate. Well, it is inappropriate, but there's nothing ugly on air that you have, or on screen that you ever see. It was just heavy conversations, and I'm just like, do I even want to be a parent? Like,
oh yeah. It just really digs deep into like parenthood and how little moments can really transform a child. You can really have an impact on a child. Just from your actions and from your words and all these things. It's I think thought-provoking.
It's very, unfortunately, I think that people that need to be their thoughts provoked aren't going to get it. Because there's a lot of things that I wish I would have dived deeper into, like the whole online culty.
Yes, I wanted to know about that too as well.
I know a little bit about it, and I know it's an issue, and I know people are drawn into these cult-like followings about, like, you need to be masculine, and to be masculine, you need to be violent against women, or you need to show them who's boss. I just don't think people grasp how deep dark web, how riddled it is with these people that truly believe that kind of stuff. And this was just, like, literally the tip of the iceberg of, like, one kid that fell into this propaganda of show them who's boss, and I mean, he ends up, I mean, you know it within the first 5 minutes of the show. A girl and his grade gets killed, and he's 12 or 13.
I think he's 13.
So, you know, without realizing him being exposed to these kind of propaganda and message online, he was being brainwashed and had this like rage. And now he had to go through all that at the age of 13.
And it shows you like even the backstory of the dad, like it really like it's interesting. It's thought-provoking. I think parents should watch like if you're going to be expecting.
I think Ryan, who we work with, was also hyped it up a lot. He said it was like one of the best endings. But I feel like the ending was just so realistic. Like I was just like, oh, I thought there was going to be a twist, there was going to be a something, but it was just like, well, yeah, like all the evidence is there. There was just no twist at the end, but it was such a heavy conversation. The way it was shot was crazy.
Beautiful.
Single camera. Like the whole hour-long episodes, the camera is being followed.
I didn't notice it at first until Ryan pointed it out. So when he pointed it out, I had already seen episode 1. Going into episode 2, I finally started seeing, all right, how are they transitioning to different people? And it's just all like theater. And I love it.
Yeah, so it's crazy. And props to the actors on that one. Maybe this should have been the review, but but yeah, that's what I spent, and I caught up on. You know what? I promised Chloe this. I was gonna give a shout out to RuPaul's Drag Race, because this is the first season I watched.
Oh, yay!
And I'm invested. I love it. I don't know why I've never watched it.
It's a good show.
It's very me, like reality competition. That is what I watch. That's what I love to, you know, spend my free time doing. And the fact that I hadn't watched RuPaul's Drag Race is crazy. I love the girls that are on this season.
Are you gonna start watching the past seasons now?
I don't think I'm that committed.
Okay.
I don't know. I think I think this group of girls are really good to the point where like no one like gives me like, oh, she's so mean, or she's so like.
And the finale is this weekend, right?
This weekend. So it's this weekend. Are you watching it?
No. I'm not, but I've seen the past seasons. So I'm very much a person, if I'm going to watch something, I have to watch from the beginning because I need the whole backstory as to like how everything.
Oh my
the
goodness.
first few seasons are so good. And it has so many people that are like household names
like
now.
Trixie, and I love Katya. So I love them like now. But I had no idea, like
you see like their origin story, kind of.
But Sam Star is my girl. But yeah.
So if you keep up with RuPaul's Drag Race, let us know what you think of the finale next week.
Absolutely, yeah. Who's your favorite girl? Even though I'm rooting for Sam. She's my girl. She's so beautiful.
Is it down to 2?
5.
5. Oh, okay. I forget how many people.
So I guess that's the thing where sometimes they go into a finale with 4 or with 5, but in the last episode, no one was eliminated, and they're going to do a 5 person, which they're good girls. Like they each have their strength. There's one that is such like an obvious pick. She's so well rounded, but like, will other people's peaks overshadow her consistency? You know, that kind of.
I would love to be a judge on that show. It just looks like so much fun.
Just like the one-liners.
Yes, no, I just love RuPaul like so much.
But yeah, that was my weekend. I made ceviche.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I've been craving ceviche.
So
it's like fresh with some chips.
Yeah.
Some lime.
That was me. But I'm getting more into cooking on the weekend, so I could like plan. I'm taking a book from Brenda, or page from Brenda's book.
Let's do it.
Yeah, how was your weekend?
It was good. I went out of town. I went to Austin this weekend.
Yes, I saw it, Vanessa.
I went for, my friend Homer's sister, her Vanessa Gonzalez. She's a really great comedian. You all should check her out. She's been on Lopez vs. Lopez. She was touring with Chelsea Handler. She's done specials on Comedy Central and Netflix. So Yost has actually done an interview with her as well. Like, she's so funny.
She is so
She's
funny.
hilarious.
I remember doing the interview with her, and just like off the bat, she was so funny. I still remember the first time she said, "I'm so excited to be interviewed by a Laredo outlet, and I'm not even in jail." Like, and I just thought it was the funniest thing. If you are a Latina who has like, your Mexican parents, and that kind of, that is your girl.
That's her,
right there.
yeah, she has like the best things. Even like her little promo for the comedy show this weekend was like her just kind of walking on the street. She's like, I'm looking for Amazon packages to steal. I was dying. I'm like, I have to watch this show. So it was just kind of like, I was like, you know what? I don't really have anything to do here specifically. So let me just go hang out with my friends in Austin, which is not very like me.
It's not.
I'm not sporadic like that, but I was like, let me do it. So I stayed with my friend Homer. We had the best time. That was like kind of the first time he and I just kind of hung out ourselves.
One-on-one.
We went to the comedy show, we went had drinks places, and then we had an amazing Sunday fun day with him, Rachel, and her husband. And so it was just like the best weekend. I had a great time, but I'm very much my Sunday tradition of like cooking, and I'm like, all right, I don't want to eat out this week. So as soon as I got back into town, it was like 8 o'clock, went straight to HEB, got my groceries, and I'm like, Brenda, we got to power through. I cooked my meals for the week, did laundry, all like between 10 p.m. and like 2 a.m. And I was like, I'm dying, but it's okay. So I'm so excited for this weekend to just like relax, because I'm so tired.
Yeah.
The week has felt like, I don't know, like an eternity.
I have some stuff to do this weekend, and it's kind of like, but I'm excited. I am excited. I know. It's going to feel a little bit like work.
I didn't want to, well, yeah, we have that golf thing this weekend as well. So I was like, I just want to sleep in, but I also have to clean. I'm just like, ugh, I hate being an adult sometimes, but
it has to be done.
It has to be done. And then this weekend is the finale of White Lotus.
Yes, and we'll get to the recap of last week's episode. And again, we're almost there. I
can't believe it, honestly.
I'm enthralled. I need to know who the death will be.
We'll talk about that, because there's been some theories already thrown out there.
Absolutely.
But now let's get into some headlines.
Yeah, let's get into the headlines. I do want to start off with the one that I'm least excited about. I know I said like back to back, but let's start off with Kanye West. Kanye West called out his ex, Kim Kardashian, in a new interview, saying he didn't want to have family with her before going on to welcome kids Northwest, St. West, Chicago West, and Some West. And I'm thinking by the second one, you saying that you don't want to do it is kind of...
And I'm just like, your kids are going to read the fact that you didn't want them to be born, basically.
Yeah.
Like, for the guy who's like, oh, I don't want to get my kids involved into things, you're kind of involving your kids inadvertently.
Traumatizing. I don't know. He continues to be a thing. I do see myself in the future possibly being like, maybe we shouldn't be talking about someone that possibly has a mental illness and isn't taking care of themselves properly. It's kind of like the Wendy Williams aspect of it a little bit. But I just find it interesting. As to my knowledge, Kim Kardashian has not responded, and I believe she will not be responding because she does not get involved with that. It does seem, in my opinion, it makes her case to have full custody and to continue being the decision maker for her children a million times stronger.
I think there's a pretty, like, she's an attorney, she can find anything, and I'm pretty sure just his behavior alone is like evidence enough.
I didn't put this on here, but I just remembered that there is some kind of like, not controversy, but Rain.
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot to bring this out to you. Rain Disick was on Instagram Live. He was on the live of Alabama Barker's boyfriend. So I guess they were at his house, and the boyfriend's just going live in their house. And Rain comes up and starts like chit-chatting with them. And of course, people are like, Rain, Rain, Rain. And then someone brought up that if Justin Bieber is his father, and he's like, Justin Bieber is not my dad. Like, that... The fact, the way he spoke about it made me think that he had heard it before, because he's like, when I was born, Justin was 17. My mom would not do that. My dad is Scott, like Scotty. And
what the heck?
And I just want, like, first of all,
how old is he?
I want to say he's like 8 or 9.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I have no idea how old that kid is now.
I want to say he's 8 or 9. He looks like trouble. Like, he's so loud, but I feel for Courtney, the fact that her stepdaughter's boyfriend's just putting her kids on live without any, like, I could only imagine, like,
the conversation that was had after the fact. Do you think you think that Kris Jenner stepped in with Alabama Parker?
Oh, and the bad baby thing?
Yeah, or do you think because people were noticing like how she is. She's kind of like changed a little bit, and they're like, did they have to call in Chris to like have
Probably.
an intervention?
I think they definitely had to like sit her down and be like, you need to stop.
Yeah.
Like interacting or engaging in this beef that, and I mean the whole thing with people that are like, girl, just stop, just live your Calabasas life, and I agree with that. But
I
yeah,
agree.
that's your dose of Kardashian news for today. Let's talk about movies and shows. We have Sam Mendes is set to direct 4 separate feature-length biopics chronicling the story of the Beatles through the eyes of each of its members, and the casting for the 4 musicians has now been confirmed. Well, Harris Dickinson will play John Lennon, Paul Mescal will be Paul McCartney, Barry Keoghan will portray Ringo Starr, and Joseph Quinn will play George Harrison in The Beatles, a 4-film cinematic event. It is supposed to be an bench-worthy event, so I believe all
it's their
4,
POVs.
Yeah, so I believe all 4 movies will be released at the same time, and people will have the option to watch them back to back.
You have no idea how excited I am.
What a great casting. This makes me excited that the work is, I mean, you have 4 great stars, like.
You have people of the moment. So people have been kind of like iffy about the casting, but I'm like, I think it's good casting. The Joseph Quinn one is like, as George Harrison, I need to see that happen, because that was the only one I'm like, ooh, interesting. Did not see Joseph Quinn taking on that, but I love Harris Dickinson. He's a great actor. Paul Mescal has good acting chops as well.
Paul and Barry's dynamic as Ringo Starr and, oh no, it's going to be Harris and John Lennon. Never mind. So Harrison, I'm making up names here. Harris and Paul are going to have some great scenes together. Just we know that the dynamic that Paul McCartney and John Lennon had, and it was kind of the reason.
No, I'm really excited for this. Regardless of the casting, I love the Beatles, and so like I've just been waiting for this biopic to be made. So yeah.
Do you think it would have been better as a series, 4 seasons?
I don't know. I feel like movies is kind of like
it.
I think not it, but I think Sam Mendes, I don't think he would ever really do a TV show.
I was going to say, it probably, of course, awards.
Yeah, no, I think that they would go for movies with this one. But I'm
We're excited about that. What we're also excited for is Legally Blonde, the prequel series called Elle, is officially in production. Reese Witherspoon, who played Elle Woods in Legally Blonde and Legally Blonde 2, Red, White, and Blonde, announced the exciting update in a joint Instagram post with Elle star Lexi Mindtree. And I know a couple weeks ago they had shared the moment the actress was told she had gotten the role, and she's so cute and perfect.
No, yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a fun one. I really liked I like the prequel type idea.
Yeah.
I also really liked, when they did the Sex and the City prequel. It was just super cute. Yeah, I think it's going to be a cute show.
I think if there's a lot of material. I don't know if they're going to do... It gives a lot of material because she could still go through all of high school and all of that
early college year. Yeah, because she's like she graduated.
Yeah, she graduated. So
graduate.
We're excited for that. We're also excited about new babies being announced this week. Jennifer Lawrence has welcomed her second child with husband Cook Maroney. On Tuesday, a source confirmed the exciting news to people after weeks of speculation that the Oscar winner quietly gave birth.
So she gave birth a while ago, right?
Yeah,
because I've been seeing her on the streets more.
Without the baby bump or something.
Yeah, like it's been more reduced. So I'm like, she probably already had her baby.
And she probably was wearing loose clothes.
Yeah.
Another baby is born. Kylie Kelsey, wife of former Philadelphia Eagles center Jason Kelsey, also future sister-in-law Taylor Swift, gave birth to their 4th daughter, Finley Finn and Kelsey. On March 30th, 2025, and the couple announced the news on Instagram on April 1st. That's quick. I feel like I would have assumed she would have taken more.
Didn't she like get out of the hospital and show the baby during their podcast?
So I'm shocked
by that.
So she gave birth to the baby, and I'm pretty sure she shot an episode of her podcast right after because she already came out with the tease.
That just shows you, like, I've been through this. I know.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's
Like,
the fourth one.
It's not a
her
big deal.
fourth daughter. I think, I don't know. I don't know. That's so fast.
She was just like, all right, time to go home.
Yeah, let me get that checked. So I am very interested. I love the name.
Did you see that Taylor also liked the post?
Oh, really? I didn't
Yeah.
see that.
Cute.
Sisters. Not sister-like conduct from Morgan Wallen.
Oh my gosh.
He made headlines after he abruptly left the stage at the episode's end, breaking a tradition in which cast members typically remain on stage as the credits roll, sharing hugs and celebrating a job well done. He was seen leaning in to whisper something into host Mikey Madison's ear before stepping off stage and breezing past the camera in front of him. Shortly after, the country star shared a photo of a private jet on his Instagram stories, which was captioned, "Get me to God's country."
That's what he probably told her. I'm going to God's country. Bye.
I read another article that also insinuated that he was invited to be on the pre-taped sketch about a pop star or something.
They had to get Joe Jonas last second.
Yeah, and he did not want to be a part of it, so they brought in Joe Jonas. Thank you for providing that for Joe Jonas. But nothing really has come out to you. I know
all the cast members, you can even tell when they're all saying goodbye, they like kept their distance. Like Mikey and Morgan were like up in the front, and they were just like there, like, oh,
Yeah.
we're just gonna stand over here, which is not the case. They're always in like a big crowd of people.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because we read that book about that was
yes.
loosely based on SNL. So I'm like, I wonder what the whole week was like with him.
that must have been, yeah, it must have
A
been
nightmare.
But even if he was just there as a musical guest, he wasn't
But
there like
you're there
always.
for rehearsal almost every day, aren't you?
I think just at the last 2
Okay.
days. So what could have possibly been so
I just
treacherous?
don't think that he is a people person at all. I've never heard good things about him. Wasn't he
Yeah.
the one that was arrested for throwing a chair off the roof of a bar or something?
That was possibly Chris Brown.
No.
no,
It
him
was a
too?
country star, and it was like a famous name. And I'm like, damn, this guy seems like annoying.
Him and the other guy, and I liked the other guy's song until
Brian, or was it Brad or Brian? No,
Brian.
the one who was with
Wait,
Chicken
wait,
Fry.
fried chicken- Oh my gosh!
What's
I
I
can't
don't even
believe-
remember his name.
You see, guys.
This is how little we listen to
country
country.
music for reals. But yeah, he's out there. I know one writer actually made a funny guest post. They put a picture of the street of New York with the Dunkin' Donuts car, and then he took a picture of it and then captioned it, "Get me to God's country." So it's obviously they're
Love it.
poking fun of him. I don't know, will he come back?
I hope they make a sketch about it.
See, that's the thing
kidding.
that
I don't think they would.
like I always feel like SNL is so behind on like
Making fun of things that happen within their own
unless it's
thing.
like the president or Elon Musk, it's a little bit close to maybe something, but like the fact that they haven't made fun of like Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, and the fact that they haven't
It's
made
'cause
fun,
it's, you know,
and I get it, but it's like, come on, and this is why
I think they still have to save face with certain things. Like I think they know, are like, ugh, we need to kind of toe the
Yeah.
line. And that just shows you who's powerful in Hollywood if they aren't being made fun of.
Yeah, that's just, and I think there was one, like for example, last week they made, or the same episode they made fun of White Lotus and the,
Oh, Tsunami.
yeah, I'm like, that could have been 2 weeks ago. You guys need to change your stuff.
Y'all are a little late.
Yeah, but
Hire me.
anyway, that's what happened with Morgan Wallen. We also have our first, I guess, official look at the group of ladies that are set to make the historic Blue Origin space crew flight of an all-female crew. Katy Perry, Lauren Sanchez, Gail King, Aisha Bowe, Amanda Wynn, and Carrie Ann Flynn came together for the first time for a special April digital cover out now. Why were they only
These
on the
digital covers are cracking me up.
Yeah. Their flight is set to take off on April 14th, which is next week. It's pretty cool. I think I'm more excited about Gail.
hope
I don't know if
everything
you've
is-
seen her stuff. The morning after it was announced that she was on it, she was literally like crying about how scared she was.
Oh no, I'm scared for them. That's why I'm like, I am praying for you all.
Yeah, and you know what, Lauren Sanchez?
I mean,
I'd do the same thing.
I don't know. It's interesting. I am excited to see what happens. Like I said, praying for everybody to be safe.
Yes. We'll find out on April 14th.
Yeah.
Well, Sean Diddy Combs is facing new accusations of human trafficking as he awaits a federal trial. In a civil case filed in Florida on April 1st, Joseph Manzaro, alleges, according to court documents obtained by E! News, that he was, quote, drug transported against his will and sexually maimed as a victim of a coerced and organized criminal enterprise, end quote. Those are court documents. It alleges that this was facilitated by Combs and other people back in 2015, and named celebrities in this document, such as Beyonce, Jay-Z, and LeBron James, as witnesses in this lawsuit. Those are big.
Yeah, those are big names, and I am curious. I mean, this kind of was put out earlier in the week. I'm surprised with the reaction that Jay-Z had with the last one. Like, they're going to be like, absolutely not, we're going to take you to court with this.
Yeah.
Like, do not, Beyonce's like, do not bring my name into this.
Yeah. I don't know. And again, it's a civil case, so it's a little different from a criminal case, but we'll see what it, I mean, Beyonce, Jay-Z, and LeBron James.
Those are
big names to
But like you said, it's a civil suit. I think it's easier, right, to pull in names like that when it's a civil than a criminal, because you have to prove that there's a reason.
Yeah, the civil you like bring. I honestly, at this point, I think it just says that they're named in it. So I'm thinking that it's a civil suit against possibly Diddy, and if a judge were to take it, hey, if you need witnesses, these people in my experience were present, so they could be potential. I don't think they would.
No, they wouldn't.
Been subpoenaed in, or I guess that's the term. I'm not a lawyer.
Sorry,
guys.
we're not lawyers. We're just assuming that we're lawyers and
Let's
pretending
go to better
like we are.
news. I just wanted to put that out there, I think, because those are three big names that are now being associated with this ongoing legal battle and accusations against Diddy. Well, happier news. We have the actress who played the beloved Lorelai Gilmore on the hit show, which ran for 7 seasons, from 2000 to 2007. Lauren Graham was the latest guest on Call Her Daddy podcast. I listened to it, and I know you talked about how
it was kind of an interesting dynamic.
I loved it, but I understand why I loved it. I loved it because I loved Gilmore Girls.
Oh,
right?
Same. Yeah.
So for me, it was just so interesting to hear these facts and But if you don't really know her, there was no backstory to her growth as a Hollywood actress. What did she? Because one question I kind of found interesting, I didn't watch Gilmore Girls when it started. I think I started watching it on ABC Family, after the reruns
and stuff.
So I was not aware at the hype of the moment. So I had no idea Lauren Graham was possibly an it girl during that time. So when Alex Cooper brought up, how did you feel about, the media portraying you as someone that is in their 30s and hadn't gotten married? I just never really pictured, I guess I never thought of her as the it girl during that time. So she must have been, obviously. I would have loved to hear more about her time in the industry as a young actress and what she went through, and she does address why she did decide to play a mom, which is so interesting, because I did agree with her when she said that she read the script. She never thought, this is a mom.
The character, not the mom,
And it's so funny because there are people where you're like, oh, that's a mom. I never really,
You never think of Lorelai as a mom, even though the dynamic is a mother and daughter, but it's like Lorelai is her own person. She just so happens to be a mother as well.
Yeah, to another character.
And I had no idea that Amy Palladino and the other person, they weren't working on season 7, and that's why it ended.
Yeah.
I had no idea about that. So it was interesting to learn some behind the scene facts about Gilmore Girls, but also it's been so long, she's not gonna remember every little thing, which is hard, timing wise. But I do like what she was talking about, how I'm pretty sure, I looked her up, she isn't married, but it's the fact, for her, that wasn't ever really super important to me. It was career and all these other things. Hearing the perspective of a woman who that wasn't her primary goal in life. It was just career and how to navigate all that stuff. It was an interesting
even for
getting
Alex
to learn
Cooper,
about
when
her.
She shared that little anecdote about her. That she has always been so career driven, and when she started dating her now husband, it was always on the table, like, we're never getting married, because for her, she had never experienced a partner that could support and not be intimidated by how driven she was until she met him. And I thought it was just so interesting that, you know, there are women out there that are just like, hey, I'm happy. I am here to achieve, be the, you know,
be happy in myself and what I do.
And not have children. I think it was also interesting when she was asked about Alexis Bledel. I mean, she didn't say anything bad. She was like, oh, great, we got along. But then comparing her with when she was asked about Mae Whitman, it was just like, she saw a daughter in me.
But I think because Alexis and her were kind of close in age, because Alexis, I think, was 21, 20-something, and she was like early 30s. So it's like, it's more of a closer, whereas like Mae was probably, I don't know how.
I think Mae was like
in her teens, right? For that
maybe
Parenthood?
18 to 20,
where she's probably like in her 40s. Yeah,
you're right. So it was interesting. And did you ever see that show? Was it?
I didn't watch Parenthood, but I wanted to because I was so obsessed with Gilmore Girls at the time, and I'm like, oh my god, I want to see Lauren Graham and something else, but I just never got into it.
I want to watch that. If you are a Gilmore Girls fan and you want your dose, just watch the Mrs. Maisel, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Same writer, same producers or creators. The writing is exactly the same. And that's like a little.
No, it was a really good. But on the top, I didn't bring this up when we were having a meeting, but Alex Cooper, there's rumors out there that she made one of her staffers named Claire change her name because it was like the name of her husband's ex-wife.
Ex-wife.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? I just thought I should throw that out.
I wonder if it's true or not.
Me too.
Interesting. Okay, well, we have some Wicked news. They're back. I feel like we just ended the Wicked. I think we had like a 1 month free of Wickedness because of the Oscars, but they're back on the road, ladies and gentlemen. We have Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande help show off the Yellow Brick Road to kick off a new Wicked press tour. Yeah, a new Wicked press tour at CinemaCon 2025 in Las Vegas on Wednesday. The two Oscar-nominated actresses appeared during Universal Pictures' presentation of the upcoming titles to tease Wicked for Good, the next and final installment in director John M. Chu's two-part screen adaptation of the hit Broadway musical.
I'm so excited, but they're all in black now. I think that's a big indication of how they're going to be moving forward with their press for this movie.
I think so. It's like they both
going from the green and the pink to just black.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm gonna see the West Side. I believe a lot of people. There was no footage from. What people
oh my god! I've been trying to look footage for this CinemaCon thing.
I don't know how they did it, but there was no footage. However, a lot of people described what they saw, and it was like a tease where I believe Glenda is like, oh, you need to come out. The monkeys will find you, and it like teases something with that song that everyone's the too good or good something, and then the clip ends with Cynthia saying, "I'm off to see the wizard."
Ooh, yeah, there were so many good premieres at CinemaCon, and like they had Verity, they had like a preview of Verity, but like
did they really?
Yeah,
oh, what the heck?
But everything is written, and I don't want to read. I want to see.
Yeah, but I did not know Verity had something. They had literally shooting.
It was just like a little clip of, I think, Dakota Johnson. It said it was a montage of different clips of Dakota Johnson, and then it had Anne Hathaway looking out the window, and I was like,
wait, Dakota Johnson's in it?
Dakota Johnson's the main person.
I thought Anne Hathaway was.
So for Verity, it's about a girl who's an author, and she's taking over this series. I don't know if the series was called Verity or if the author was called Verity, but she's like in a coma or something. And so the husband of the author is like, I need somebody to take over this series that she has because we're almost complete with it. So they get on Dakota Johnson's character, and she ends up living in the house with the husband and that chick who's in a coma, but she starts to notice weird things happening around the house at night, and Anne Hathaway's character is the one that's in the coma and stuff. So,
you read the book?
I read the book.
It's a good.
It's a good book. It wasn't like wow crazy, but it was a good read.
Okay, maybe I'll read it.
You should read it.
I'm a little scared. I don't like.
It was a little scary.
But yeah, that's what happened at that con. And now let's go to a little White Lotus casting news. We're getting more details about how the casting process works and there is drama among the cast members. We'll have the recap to the episode later on.
Yes.
But this one, White Lotus cast salaries have been revealed in a new profile. It was disclosed how much each actor is paid. They also revealed how much each episode costs in total for HBO. Producer David Bernard told The Hollywood Reporter, everyone is treated the same on the White Lotus. They get paid the same, and we do alphabetical billing. So you're getting people who want to do the project for the right reasons, not to quote The Bachelor. It's a system we developed in the first season because there was no money to make the show. The site then revealed that season 3 cost between $6 to $7 million per episode. On top of that, they revealed that the salary for each star is around $40,000 per episode. Then they also revealed that Woody Harrelson was apparently considered for the role of Rick, which is currently played by Walton Goggin. However, Woody reportedly wanted to negotiate the salary and went up to Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav to try and move the needle, but they wouldn't for him.
Which I agree with. I mean, the thing is with the cast of White Lotus, I mean, you're going to get a lot of attention from just being on the show, so the pay shouldn't really...
I want to know what alphabetical billing is.
Alphabetical billing?
Mm-hmm. It says, they get paid the same, we do alphabetical billing.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Like, I'll look it up. It has to be some industry term. But we're also getting some other juicy gossip. So... Jason Isaacs, who plays, I actually do not know his name.
I don't know his character's name. He is
the dad.
Severus Snape. He's known to the whole world as Severus
up about
Snape.
the cast dynamics while filming.
No, not Snape. He is...
No, not Snape. He's
Lucas Malfoy. Lucius Malfoy. R.I.P. Snape.
I don't even know. I didn't question it.
Lucius Malfoy.
So he opened up about the cast dynamics while filming an interview with Vulture. This is what he's, quote, said in this interview. It was like a cross between summer camp and Lord of the Flies, but in a gilded cage. He said, it wasn't a holiday. Some people got very close. There were friendships that were made and friendships that were lost.
I was on TikTok, and people say it might be him and Parker Posey that didn't get along. Oh. Which is crazy because they're the married couple. And
they don't do press together. They don't do. It's Parker Posey and the girl with the teeth.
Yeah, well,
they're really good friends.
So as soon as like that came out, I'm like, okay, now let's start seeing who has been in the same room with who, because that's gonna obviously show you.
And the three friends, Leslie and Kuhn, they do press, but the brunette doesn't. She's a blonde in the show. The actress.
Yeah, Michelle Monaghan.
She doesn't do really press with them. She does it with Belinda's character, or the actress of Belinda.
Crazy, because it's so funny. Season 2 cast, they were like partying every night. Like all the pictures, I'm like, damn, that looks like a fun cast. Yeah. And then this season, I don't know if it's like the more they get popular, there's just so much more pressure.
I think it's as the show gets more popular, people that take their job, like, it doesn't
high level
actors want to be a part of it because they want that credit. But that means ego, like even though they're not getting paid, ego comes with it. Yeah. And when you have a lot of people, a lot of ego, it's not good. Look at season 2. Not a lot of them were known actors. Like
not
Jennifer,
super major,
but Jennifer Coolidge. Everyone seemed Aubrey
Plaza.
But I think she was the highest,
like the highest like actor. Yeah, and that's what's tricky. It's like, and you know, obviously when it comes to casting, I think that's going to be a thing that kind of deters people from like big egos from wanting to be a part of it because they would rather negotiate a higher salary. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
You know, Woody Harrelson.
I love Woody Harrelson.
Reciting the monologue that Sam, what's his name?
Sam Rockwell.
Yes. Him.
It would have hit.
It would have hit.
It would have hit.
Not saying he was a good.
Sam Rockwell is great, but like Woody Harrelson is so good.
But I feel like Sam Rockwell and Woody Harrelson are kind of the same person. Like they're in the same person, different font. But he would have hit. But yeah, that's a little, I was gonna say podcast.
Some behind the scenes White Lotus
before we get to our recap. Now we're just gonna go over some of the main topics that we want to talk to you guys about today. I am gonna start with
really quickly before we move on from the headlines. Wayfair is responding to Ryan Reynolds.
I cannot find anything on it.
I just saw like something on TikTok that Wayfair is, Ryan Reynolds is trying to dismiss the lawsuit. Wayfair sent its response in which they basically kind of take quotes from his and are basically trying to reiterate the fact why they should continue to move forward with this case. I do not have those documents, but that is the latest in the Baldoni, Blively, Reynolds. I don't even know who else is involved in this anymore.
Everyone.
The whole industry, that's the latest on that.
The whole industry. But yeah, let's get to these main topics. We're going to start off with Miss Sydney Sweeney and Glen Powell and what has happened. So earlier this month, which was basically
literally a couple days
ago, we had Sweeney had sparked breakup rumors when she deleted a post of her husband, which I did not get his first name, but Dan?
I was going to say Danny DeVino. No,
it is DeVino.
Jonathan DeVino.
Oh, Jonathan DeVino off of her social media. Well, you know, sources are reporting that they are officially split up, and when Sydney is asked, she says she is single. Interesting enough, I did not know she was 27 and he's 41.
They had like
a big age.
They started dating when she was 18. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Isn't that crazy?
No, that's super crazy. That's so crazy.
Isn't that yeah.
Yeah.
He got with her before she became, like, she blew up.
Whoa, I didn't know that. Whoa. Okay, so obviously that news comes out, and then timing is everything, because that weekend we spot her. People spotted her at Glen Powell's sister's wedding, and obviously that started a whole thing about, oh, are they dating because he took her as her plus one.
Well, she was invited.
So then it came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Then it came out that she's actually good friends with his sister, and she was invited. And then his mom, the Glen Powell's mom, came out saying that they're just friends, that they just love Sydney. She's a part of the family or whatever. Then Glen Powell was on the Today Show, and of course, as good journalists, they asked him about how her being at this wedding caused such a big stir, and he said. He told Today about the timing of her split news and their reunion. Timing is everything in this world, isn't it? I mean, my sister and Sid are obviously great friends. It was a hell of a wedding. The Powells know how to do it right. So all the people that love her were there. It was just so much fun, rowdy wedding. The Powells know how to crank it up. And it's just, like, so funny to me that he didn't say, no, we're just friends. Like,
my question is, how is your sister so close to Sydney if you all worked on one movie together?
I think maybe they connected off, you know.
Well, they said that they also worked on the movie with them, but I'm like...
Oh, because, what's her name? Sydney was a producer.
Yeah.
And if she works for him, maybe... Like, the sister works for his camp.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
Yeah,
I could
like...
see that. But, I don't
know. It's just like, yeah, timing is everything, right? And have you heard about the hair theory? No. It's kind of based off of How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, when Andy goes from her straight hair to at the end when she's finally in love and she has curly hair. So Sydney had curly hair at the wedding, and everyone's like, this is just proving the hair theory.
That's so
that
funny.
When you're in love, you have curly hair. But I love all of the edits on TikTok. Straight Out the Slammer. I am obsessed. Just look up Straight Up the Slammer, Taylor Swift on TikTok, and you will see a million edits of Glen Powell and Sydney Sweeney. Everyone is rooting for you guys. When pretty people are with pretty people, the whole world goes round.
I also think that it's interesting. I know they mentioned a little bit about them working on another movie. I wouldn't be surprised if they're setting up
press for
that they're coming out with something else.
I'm just like, why not? You know, she's single, you're single.
We're all just happy to see that happen. What we're not happy to see, though, is what's happening at the Bieber household.
Yeah.
So we'll address, like, the weird behavior by Justin. But let me get first Hailey Bieber responding as to why she unfollowed Justin on Instagram. As reported by Page 6 in a comment posted on TikTok, Hailey explained why it appeared that she had followed her husband on Instagram even though she didn't. "It's a glitch," quote, she wrote under a video about the supposed unfollowing. "Didn't unfollow him, hope this helps." That's her addressing like a thing. Meanwhile, Justin, who is seemingly referenced by Selena on the new album, which even though she says it's not, has found himself attracting attention lately over a flurry of cryptic Instagram posts. And recently, Justin reshared a meme that poked fun at the way women post on social media when they get engaged. The meme, which was reposted to Justin's Instagram account, features the scene from Lord of the Rings where Gollum closely inspects a ring, holding it to his eyes in a total awe. People are saying that he was poking fun of Selena Gomez's engagement pictures, or saying that she got
I'm like, I'm pretty sure your wife also posted some pictures too,
so
boy.
It's just like, why would we even post that too? Even if that was not your intent, I don't know. It's for me, it's like, people are gonna think that's what it is. The other thing is that he has been posting very weird
concerning
content,
things.
like him just like going
he
like
looks
this
like
and
he's
dancing.
on like
Not healthy,
relapse.
yeah.
Like he looks like he's on drugs. I'm like, I'm concerned for him. I mean, I would take the social media away from him.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I think you need a break right now. Like, it's gotten to the point that he is the #1 bubble on my Instagram stories because I'm just so invested in what he's gonna be posting.
Yeah.
And then he posts things with the randomest songs. Like, he posted a picture of Hailey, like it's her driving, and he put Beyonce's Irreplaceable. Like, that means that the song's about being replaceable. You understand that, right? Like, it's just like the weirdest things, and Hailey's always liking them, and I'm like, Hailey, I'm sorry, girl, you gotta tell him, like, hey, you gotta stop. I don't know, like, we gotta figure something out.
I just wonder what happened that has made him be so pro social media.
I don't know. I heard Selena and Benny released an album. I think for him, it's
taking
not
away the headlines.
I think he might feel betrayed by Benny Blanco.
Oh, I could see that.
Benny Blanco. So after people were speculating that Justin's post was about Selena, he posted something on his story was just Donkey from Shrek. And people are like, is he responding to Justin?
I saw that, but I didn't know the correlation.
Yeah, I doubt there is. But maybe there is one. Maybe they're just having a beef right now because I think in one of the lives that Justin was doing, he was showing off some new music he's working on, and people are like, maybe you should be working with Benny Blanco because your music don't sound good. Maybe he's just realizing like, wow, I am not good on my own. I don't know. Mm-hmm. You're losing your #1 collaborator. I mean, yikes.
I don't think we'll be getting music anytime soon.
Between them, I don't think they're going to be getting.
And then our last topic, I am going to give the floor to Soli Brandeck because she is the one who took this on. So Ariana Grande's deluxe edition of her Eternal Sunshine album, Brighter Days Ahead, was released. We told you about it last time, but Brenda has been able to live with it, digest it, and she has her quick recap of what she's taking away from this.
Yes, I have to say, I am absolutely, utterly, beyond reprehension, obsessed with these deluxe songs. It's so crazy because I feel like there's been so many deluxe versions of things, and these songs, I'm like, okay, with the exception of one, I was like absolutely obsessed. For me, the top 2 have to be Hampstead and Twilight Zone, and these songs, she's very much addressing her divorce with Dalton a little bit more. I mean, I know that she legally cannot talk about it, but like with example, Twilight Zone, she's just kind of talking about how the fact that she still can't believe that she was even in that relationship and how she's evolved so much over time and that he deserves to win for Best Actor because she was completely deceived by him and that maybe she should go call his girl because she needs to know what he's like. Like, those are the lyrics, and I'm like, okay, him. And then with Hampstead, I love it because it's just the perspective of, like, she's talking to, like, the media and the world being like, oh, you all think you know everything about me. You all think you have the whole story and whatnot. But, like, I'm still going to continue to live my life and still write my story. And it's just so beautiful. And like, there's one lyric where she says, I'd rather be swimming with you than drowning in a crowded room, and people think that she's referencing Mac Miller because he has a song that's like, I'd rather be with you swimming and all. I don't know. That lyric makes me cry because of how much like Mac Miller is still a part. Like, I don't know. It's their whole love story just makes me cry so much. But she also has like Dandelion, which is back to her Ari. And a lot of people are pointing out the fact that like the beginning version of her album, she's like enunciating. With these last songs, it's very much like her old sound. So people are like, is she gonna be going back to like how Ariana used to be, whatnot? But I thought it was just a banger. She also came out with a whole visual album for it, where it's her leaving the, where it's a continuation of We Can't Be Friends. She's an older woman now, and she's being brought into like the last 4 memories that she wants to get rid of. And one of them, it's her family, it's her parents. It shows like clips of them. I guess they're at a wedding or something. Super cute, super emotional. The second one is her like working on music. The third one is her love lives. And then the fourth one was her reconnecting to music. And her dad came out in that one. And I didn't know that her and her dad didn't have like the best relationship before, but it wasn't until recently that they've become a lot closer.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just thought it was so good. Like I'm literally, I've been listening to it nonstop since it came out.
I need to give it a try.
You would love it. It's so good. I'm really
So you heard it
fan
here
of
first.
it.
Brenda approve.
Check.
Check mark. And now for our final recap, we're gonna go over the White Lotus episode, and I'm just
Episode 9.
anticipating this Sunday. We're getting the finale. It's been such a climactic roller coaster, peak. We kind of went down a loop, and then we were building up again this episode, and I'm just hoping for that.
This
big
episode
free fall.
I wasn't a fan of, and I'm like, this was the 9th episode?
It was such a build up again, and let's put our bets. Who do you think the death is going to be?
So I'm hearing that a lot of people are going to be upset with Mike White after this episode.
Why?
So I think it might be Chelsea.
You think? Okay.
So there was a theory out there that I thought was really interesting, how Rick was like, how Chelsea was like, I'm going to make sure that you leave here the happiest person. And so in the clips of this past week, she's like, I'm going to die. I'll die to make you so happy this trip or whatever. So for these clips, he looks like he's finally happy again. And people are like, oh, well, she finally got her wish of making sure that he was the happiest before she dies. So that's why people think that she might be the one.
Someone also pointed out she wears a necklace, and on the necklace it's a quote from some character that has like a tragic death from like I don't know what. The other thing, I think that we all like the buildup is like, well, duh, it's going to be the guy that's been trying to kill himself all season, and now he's going to take his family with him. But I think it is going to be a twist like that. I keep reading the theory where, because of Rick going back to the White Lotus and what he did in Bangkok, I think police will be called because they obviously know he's a guest. Police are going to show up looking for him, but that's going to make everyone spiral individually. Like this guy, the fraud guy, is going to think they're here for him. Belinda's going to think that Gary Craig sent him. Gary Craig, whatever his name is, thinks that Belinda told on him, and then the Russian men think that they were
for the robbery and all that stuff,
which is so crazy.
It's gonna be chaotic.
Did you see that connection? I don't know why I didn't see that.
That the guy with the bald guys, that those guys were the. I knew that from the beginning. I had heard a theory in the beginning that the reason why the guy was talking to him while before the gate was to see them go through, and then to distract them. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm sure that these guys have something to do with it.
I thought they were just gonna steal the girl, like they're gonna steal from the girls or.
No, and it makes sense because like, why would they even have that to begin with? Like, it had a true purpose for it. But in this episode, you finally get to Greg's house. You finally see what this man has been living in, the property. He has this party where he brings a lot of the cast members to it. A lot of the characters are there. We learn more about Greg and his life growing up. Not that we wanted to. What are these monologues? what are these bald men? And I don't know. I'm just like another very disturbing story on the White Lotus this season. But aside, like honestly, even like finally meeting the guy that this guy has been trying was so like
anticlimactic.
Okay, cool.
And I think it plays into the part where we build something up in her head so much, and then it's like there, and you're kind of like,
I guess.
Oh, I guess. It was like, a
right,
like, and then
what's her name?
The friend.
The friend finally is like, you all suck. I'm gonna go hang out these guys. And then I don't know. I mean, it was
the guy. Once the guy was like, my mother needs money.
Yeah, I knew something like that was gonna happen. It was such a blah episode. It drives me crazy that was the episode before episode 10.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even realize this was the finale, and I was like, wow, this season has been it's so mixed. People are like, oh my God, I'm so enthralled with this season. But for me, it was so...
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. I think it's giving me the same effect as Adolescence, where it's just like so heavy, and then you get some kind of peak, and then you're kind of like, it's a roller coaster of emotions. But it really is.
But yeah, we'll see what happens this final episode. Who's going to be the one
If you were Belinda, would he take the money?
Yeah, why not?
I know, it's not like, I mean, what are the odds that some international police are going to find him, and like your testimony is going to help?
I'm just like, let's just make sure that it's cash if we can, so that's in full, and I don't have to worry about being connected to you at all. No, yeah. Among one of those things, apparently I read also that there are so many actors that turn down the show because of the incestual aspect that it had this season, which I thought was pretty crazy.
That's so, yeah, it's
No, yeah,
heavy.
It was a crazy season.
Do you think Piper's gonna stay at the monastery?
I don't know. She finally was kind of like, I don't think I know about. I would rather be rich.
Yeah, I think so too. But
do you think the brother's gonna stay?
I think the dad's gonna stay.
They all just decide to stay.
I feel like, I don't know. It's just a lot of loose ends. And I just don't know how long this last episode's gonna be. Like,
it's gonna be an hour and a half.
Okay, well, that's still not enough. Like, I need resolution with the Russian guys. I need resolution with this Lachlan little pervy brother. Like, where are we going with him? Like,
another thing people pointed out was when they come back from that boat trip thing, that Lachlan is wearing Saxton's pants, and it switched, and it's like, oh, he's finally wearing the pants in the dynamic. And I was like, Mike White. Mike White.
Weirdo.
I know, you weirdo, but you're clever.
But yeah, that's basically it. Of course, we are waiting for that season finale this weekend, and we'll recap it in our next episode. And
as well as all the other happenings of Hollywood.
All that's happening. But yeah, that does it for us. Yes. And be sure to follow us on Instagram, Pop Off the Clock. You could find us on YouTube, and you could also find us on Spotify.
Bye.